So the first thing I want to look at is revenue growth, and Disney has done a great job of boosting revenue even during unprecedented circumstances in the middle of the previous decade during the pandemic. Still, its revenue has grown from 52.5 billion to 94.5 billion. That's good for a compounded annual growth rate of 6.4%. In addition to the unprecedented circumstances with the pandemic, Disney has also been managing another crisis, which is consumers switching to streaming content instead of watching content through a traditional or legacy cable connection or satellite connection. That shift is a major change for Disney because it had a significant presence in that satellite and cable industry. Its channels, including the Disney channels and ESPN, were generating a lot of revenue and a lot of profit from that older business model. And that shift has been a major change. So you can see in Disney's operating profit margin here just how devastating the pandemic was to its business. Its operating profitability was consistently above 20% prior to the outbreak, and then its operating margins collapsed. Now, it wasn't just the outbreak, it was also a major acquisition Disney made right before that also led to its profitability declining and then falling further during the pandemic. Of course, the acquisition was a near $100 billion deal, or I should say closer to $80 billion deal that brought in some assets from another major studio so that the company could have more assets, more content to launch its streaming business, which it did launch around 2019, 2020 in full steam ahead. So let's look at valuation. It's trading at a forward price to earnings of 19, which is about the midpoint of where the stock has traded for going all the way back to January of 2023. So I updated my intrinsic value calculation for Disney stock today. I now calculate it's worth $122 a share. Current market price is $113. So if we apply a margin of safety, this stock looks fairly valued on both a DCF basis and a forward price to earnings basis. But Disney is one of those really strong, really excellent companies that I would rate as a buy, even though it's fairly valued. This is one of those companies that I feel like for investors, buying it at a fair price is a good deal. I own very, very small amount of shares of Disney stock myself. I think at these current market prices, I think this is a good value, and I have the stock rated as a buy. Click the link below to watch the full video.